Hi everyone, Japan Genie here. You often associate Japan with being a really polite place and having some of the best customer service in the world. But what does good customer service mean to you? Service with a smile, making you feel special, or going above and beyond to help a customer with a problem? I recently had a fairly interesting customer service experience, but let me know what you think about this situation because I'd be really interested to hear people's thoughts. Japan Genie. So it wasn't so long ago I was in this exact seat and we went to the McDonald's, which is across the other side of the food court. Why did we come to sit over here? Well, there's a big window just here, so I figured a bit of natural light and a view would be nice. So we bought some chicken nuggets, which was debatable at the time because Chicken Gate was going on, this chicken scandal where some 6-month-old chicken had been found at a McDonald's in Japan, but that's another story. So we boldly bought some chicken nuggets, a drink, and some corn. It's sweet, it's juicy, it's delicious. Corn desu. So we're coming over here and the girls were getting a bit grumpy. We started to fight a bit. Dad's stress levels going up a bit. But we made it over to the table and we sat down. I said, come on girls, let's have a nice meal. And just as I said that, my youngest daughter dropped her spoon. Now, I dived for it. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to it in time. And using the best scientific method we have, the 3-second rule, I deemed that the spoon had been on the ground too long and it was indeed contaminated. Now, my youngest daughter started crying, as you do when you're about to eat some delicious corn and you drop your spoon. Now, rather than go all the way back across to the McDonald's on the other side, I decided my response was just to try to get a spoon as quick as possible. And there is a Baskin Robbins 31 just here, and that's an ice cream shop. They're no stranger to spoons. So I went up to the counter and I asked, spoon or moraimasu ka? Can I have a spoon? To which I got the reply, no.
No soup for you!
Now, I mean, it was a friendly no, something along the lines of, you didn't buy anything, so I can't give you a spoon. Now, I kind of thought at the time, maybe she had seen what had just transpired at the table, kind of a man in need of a spoon, and also the fact that we go to buy ice cream about once every 2 weeks, so we're a semi-regular customer. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't really even thinking that at the time. I just thought, whatever, I need to get a spoon quickly, and so I headed over to the coffee shop here. Now, this coffee shop I go to about 3 or 4 times a week. Get sandwiches and coffee, obviously, and I know the stuff so well. I go there that frequently that I even bring them back souvenirs when I come back from trips. So I went up to the counter at the coffee shop and asked for a spoon, and of course they said, sure, no problem. So I got the spoon and I was coming back to the table, and that's kind of when things started to take a turn for the worst. Stress levels had increased a bit and I was a little bit flustered about not getting a spoon from the ice cream shop, and so instincts took over and I started to do a Gangnam style dance with the spoon clearly displayed like this. It would have been perfect if I had 2 spoons, but I didn't.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
So as I was dancing my way back to the table with the spoon clearly displayed, and I know the staff, they looked and they could see my triumphant, gleeful flat face, flaunting the spoon. But rather than give me an evil look, the staff, she proceeded to pick up the phone on the wall and make a call. And now that is when my gleeful face went to a face of, shock, because I could just imagine the headlines in the newspaper the next morning. White male arrested for horrifying local shoppers with crazy spoon dance. And so I sat down now, quite concerned, and she shortly after hung up the phone and very quickly rushed over to the table. Now at this point, I was ready to go, albeit a little bit scared because she probably knew Kung Fu or at the very least Jiu-Jitsu. And she came up to me really close, so I figured it was probably Jiu-Jitsu or some sort of grappling technique. But to my surprise, she just bowed. One of those very apologetic big bows they do. And the Japanese people, when they're really sorry about something, they bow further than just like a greeting bow, which is just kind of a how you doing. So it was one of those really big, sincere bows, and she proceeded to say that she was really sorry that she didn't give me a spoon, and that she could in fact give me a spoon at any time I needed one, to just ask her, and as a regular customer, she'd be only too happy to give me a spoon. Now, of course, I was really apologetic as well about my terrible dancing, but also just my behavior in general. And since then, we've become friends, and think nothing of it. I did spend some time reflecting on this later, and I can see where she's coming from. Take for example my case, a man who's just been given verbal permission to get spoons whenever he likes. I figured I could probably get about 20 spoons an hour, maybe 160 spoons a day, and that would be enough to pretty soon start a lucrative Amazon spoon business. But here's where things get interesting. I figured that if I could find out who supplies 31 with their spoons, I could undercut them and start selling their own spoons back to them. Now, obviously I didn't do this because, well, it seems a little bit unethical and I know nothing at all about the spoon business. And to this day, I haven't actually asked for a single spoon since. But what do you guys think about giving a person in need of a spoon a free spoon? Vote or comment now, spoon or no spoon. Because coming from Melbourne, Australia, my feeling is in general people would just expect to get the spoon. It's good customer service and I think builds a good rapport with people, making them more likely to be a customer in the future. What about where you're from? If you were the staff, would you give someone a spoon? Would you need to call your boss first to get permission, which it seems apparent that the staff did? I'm kind of on the fence with this one myself. I can see the flip side. If you just start throwing spoons around like confetti, it's not profitable for business. And, well, I didn't buy anything there. But I do think this is an example of what you see a lot in Japan. Staff aren't empowered to make decisions. They don't even talk directly to their bosses a lot of the time, unlike back when I worked in Australia, and we talked to the CEO anytime we liked, using his first name. But different places, different styles. And let me just say for the record, so there's no confusion, that I absolutely love the customer service in Japan, and overall it's fantastic. And I actually do have another customer service experience that you can hear all about by clicking this link. And until next time, this has been Japan Genie. Thanks again for watching.
It is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
Op,